Hello there. Welcome to part 5 of this tutorial. Today, I'm going to be adding random spawning to the obstacles. I'll also be going over visibility notifiers and changing the obstacles sprite. Hope you enjoy. In order to make the game more interesting, I'll be creating a system that spawns an obstacle in a position at a random time. I'll add the obstacle to the main scene. Now we can go into the background script and add a speed variable. This variable will control how fast the background moves. I'll name as backspeed. I also want to make it scroll a little faster. I'll replace 90 with the backspeed variable. This will keep the same value, but now it will have a name. Now I'll go into the obstacle script and create an onReady variable. I'll name it speed. Basically, what this does is set the obstacle speed to be the same as the background. That way, we can change the background speed without worrying about changing the obstacle. Remember to add the backspeed variable. Next, I'll create a process function. This will allow the obstacles to move left with the background. Remember to add a plus sign to the assignment so that the obstacles move. Now, multiply vector2.left by the speed variable and delta. Let's add a timer to the main scene. This will allow an obstacle to spawn in a given time. I'm going to randomize the timer later. For now, I'll name it spawn timer. Let's go into the main script. I'm going to create a variable that preloads the obstacle. I probably should have named it something other than obstacle, but oh well. This might get confusing, but hang in there. Remember to add the obstacle.tscn file. Now we can add a timeout signal to the main scene. In the timeout function, I'll need to make another variable. I'll name it obs. This variable will create an instance of the obstacle. This obstacle will continue to spawn each time the timeout function is reloaded. Now, we can set the spawn position. In order to get the position correct, I'll turn on the grid and estimate where it should spawn. We can always change the values later. I want it to spawn right outside the frame. I'll set it to spawn 1024 on the x-axis and 580 on the y. Now, we need to add the obstacle to the main scene. Remember to use the obs variable inside the parentheses. I'll go to the main scene and move the obstacle outside the frame. This is where I want the other obstacles to spawn. Let's see how it looks. It's working, but the obstacles are spawning a bit low. I'll change the y value to be 570. Nice. Now the obstacles are in the right place and will spawn after 1 second. Now for the fun part, randomizing the spawning. Add a script to the spawn timer. I'm going to make two variables. Max and minimum time. What this code will do is spawn an obstacle between these two times. I'll set the minimum to be 1 and the maximum to be 5 seconds. Now I'll make a ready function. I'll create a function name, which will be ranTime. This will be used later. We can connect both the timeout and ranTime to the script. Now let's make a start function. This will start the ranTime function that I'll make next. Create the ranTime function. In this function, we'll set the wait time to be between a random range. This will be the minimum and maximum times. Let's see if it works. Great. As time goes on, the obstacles start to spawn in different positions. I honestly didn't think this would work. Before I add a new sprite, I want to add something called a visibility notifier. What this does is detect when an obstacle is inside the frame. Add the notifier to the obstacle. Let's add a screen exited signal and connect it to the script. In the function, I'll make the obstacle despawn when it is out of the frame. This is important if you don't want your laptop to reach industrial furnace level temperatures from playing the Chrome Dinosaur game. The last thing I'm going to add is a new obstacle sprite. I assume you already know how to do this, so I'll make this quick. Let's remove the placeholder image. Now, I'll add the new cactus sprite to the obstacle. I also want to resize the sprite so that it's not so small. Remember to resize the collision shape to fit the new sprite. I actually want the sprite to be a little bigger. Let's see how this looks. There, now the obstacles are spawning randomly and aren't so boring to look at. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. I think that random spawning really helps to make the game more enjoyable to play. See you in the next video. Have a good day.